Hello everyone, thank you for joining the Drobo Webcast today. We're here today to talk to you about a few new very interesting Drobo products that we've built from the ground up to redefine professional storage again. Drobo redefined professional storage 6 years ago with the introduction of the first 4-bay USB connected Drobo, and many of you on this webcast may have one of those Drobos or a Drobo that has been built between then and now. And these new Drobos really take advantage of everything those original Drobos did and a whole lot more, and we're happy to introduce you to them today. So most customers love the original Drobo because one, it's easy to use. We built Drobo from the ground up to make aggregating storage, combining storage, protecting hard drives very easy to use. And not only are Drobos easy to use, but they do make your data safe. You can think of a Drobo as the first line of defense for your data. But a lot of people wish their Drobo was faster, quieter, smaller, sometimes larger capacity. And what we're going to talk to you about today really addresses all three of these in a way I think you'll really like. These three questions are very popular right now in the Drobo FAQ Hall of Fame. We've received a lot of questions about how can I get a faster Drobo. It's like, I love my Drobo, it protects my data really well, it keeps my data up, I'm able to scale my storage, it grows with me. But they ask, I'd like my Drobo to be a little bit faster. Or there's questions of, I love my Drobo, it does everything I want it to do, but it sits right next to my computer and sometimes I can hear the fan or the hard drives are loud, or how do I get a quieter Drobo? And the third question, which has become very popular as of late, is when will we ever see a Drobo with Thunderbolt connectivity? And so let's proceed on to address all these questions. So what we're going to talk about here is truly a new era for Drobo. We've taken the technology to a whole new level. And we've heard what you are saying, and yes, we now have Drobo with Thunderbolt ports on the back of it, which we're all here very excited about. We've been going through about a decade-long transition in consumer storage connectivity. If we go back a decade ago, actually a little more than a decade, FireWire 800 first came out, and it took FireWire, which we all liked, which we were able to daisy chain devices, and we just said, wow, we wish it was a little bit faster. FireWire 800 came out and met those requirements. But since then, FireWire 800 isn't the performance storage connectivity option that we once thought it was. Things have progressed, and we now need something a little bit faster. Since then, we've had connectivity like eSATA, even using Ethernet, or USB 3.0. USB 3.0 adoption has been slow, but as of late, with adoption, especially as of late, with Intel adopting into their latest chipsets, USB 3.0 is going to take off. And then Intel, working with Apple, came out with a new interconnect technology called Thunderbolt that really takes consumer connectivity to a whole nother level. Now end users are able to get a flexible connectivity option that is as fast as anything that large enterprise customers get to utilize, in a package that is very flexible, that enables a new type of storage connectivity for desktops by passing both data and video transmission. So we're very excited with the connectivity options on these new Drobos. So first, let's talk about the new Drobo 5D. It is a 5-drive direct attached storage array. It looks very similar to the Drobo S and Drobo FS models, and that's because we've leveraged the same enclosure design. That enclosure design is very compact. It fits 5 drives in an enclosure that's not much bigger than the 5 drives stacked up together. And it's essentially 5 drives, a fan, and a logic board underneath it in a very tight package. So we've kept that design, but everything inside it has been redesigned from the ground up. It's a brand new Drobo architecture. It's up to 5 times faster than previous generation Drobos. Addressing the need for more performance out of their Drobo was really one of our goals in this product, especially for our target customers that require that performance, like media creators, videographers, photographers, graphic designers. There's a great need when working with large, rich media files for a storage array that really performs, and this Drobo is going to meet and exceed those requirements. We talked about Thunderbolt and USB 3 technology. Thunderbolt really provides you that flexibility to not only daisy chain devices, but also be able to introduce display into that chain. So if it's a Thunderbolt enabled display, it just operates like any other Thunderbolt device. If it's a DVI or DisplayPort display, or even a VGA display with an adapter, it just connects to the end of the chain and receives video transmission. So if your laptop or your desktop only has a single Thunderbolt port, that doesn't limit you from having a chain of Thunderbolt devices with a monitor right at the end of it. These Drobos also are the first Drobos to fully support solid-state drives. So we've taken some technology we've built in a different Drobo product that's intended for small business IT environments called the Drobo B1200i. And we've taken that technology and have brought it to these new prosumer-focused Drobos that allows us to have both hard disk drives and solid-state drives in the same array and be able to use them for what they're best for. Where hard disk drives are great for capacity and solid state drives are great for performance, especially transactional performance or small random I/O performance. There's 5 hot swappable 3.5-inch drive bays in the Drobo, so that gives you 5 drives worth of capacity. So if you look at 4 terabyte drives are available today, you can have 4 times 5, that's 20 terabytes worth of raw capacity. You use one of those drives for data protection, that leaves you 16 terabytes worth of usable drive capacity, which is amazing in a box that is as small as the Drobo 5D is. We've also done a very cool thing to be able to leverage SSD flash while leaving plenty of capacity available, and that is we've put an additional drive bay on the bottom of the unit for a new type or emerging type of SSD that is in a form factor called mSATA. So this SSD is commonly used in the new Ultrabooks that you've seen coming out. It's a very small SSD. It's about the size of a keychain, and it's installed very much like memory is installed into your laptop. And on the bottom of the Drobo, there's a little door. You pop the switch open, no screws necessary. You connect in the mSATA SSD, and now Drobo has 60 to 120 gigabytes of available flash to automatically accelerate data. And the Drobo will automatically utilize this SSD to accelerate the type of data that really needs to be accelerated, which is a lot of the smaller transactional I/Os. That leaves the hard drives available for doing what it does best, which is storing and accessing streaming data or bulk data. So when you look at video files, photographs, movies, large documents, all of that is all those documents are very, very simple for a hard drive to stream because the host or the computer is reading them sequentially off the disk. Once those reads or writes become random in nature, hard drives slow down tremendously, which is why having a little bit of flash in there goes a long way. Also, these new Drobos are significantly quieter. We've worked hard to custom tune a variable speed fan to bring down the overall noise of the system. Drobos have always been relatively quiet, but when you have a device that is sitting right next to you, any fan noise can be bothersome. So we really worked hard in this latest Drobo to reduce fan noise and overall quietness of the system. We're also here to talk about a brand new Drobo that is very exciting to us. A lot of users have been asking for a smaller portable Drobo that they can take with them, and we're finally able to announce this new Drobo, which we're all very excited about. It's called the Drobo Mini, and it is the world's smallest, most advanced storage array. It's everything we just talked about with the Drobo 5D packed into this form factor, which is about the size of a large sandwich. It's very small. You could put it in your bag right alongside your laptop, take it with you. And not only that, it looks gorgeous on your desktop. We'll talk about the design elements of this product later on. But it's got everything the 5D has. Same connectivity, same processing power, same memory architecture. It's the same product, just in a smaller form factor. So it's also up to 5 times faster than existing Drobos. It also has dual Thunderbolt ports, just like the Drobo 5D. Retains USB 3.0 for compatibility with any USB system. So you have Thunderbolt for the latest and greatest systems that you have, and you have USB for anything else, which is key in a portable array, because if it was just Thunderbolt connected and you had it on the road and you needed to connect it to a different computer that's not your own, Well, Thunderbolt may limit you, at least for the next few years. Having a USB port on there allows you to connect it literally into anything. It also takes advantage of the Drobo tiering technology to support both hard disk drives and solid state drives in the same system. It also includes the mSATA bay underneath to automatically accelerate data. And so it's got everything the 5D has in this cool Drobo form factor. One unique thing about it, since it is a small Drobo, it was designed from the ground up to be portable. So it is designed for drives to be left inside the unit, transported, moved around. Even the power supply has been miniaturized. It's a custom power supply for Drobo because Thunderbolt does require a decent amount of power. So does operating 4 hard drives simultaneously. There had to be an external power supply. We made it as small as can be. It's about the size of, if you take a deck of cards and cut it in half, that's about the size of the power supply with about a 3-foot cable on it and about maybe a foot on the other end that connects into the Drobo. So it's very small, compact. It's good for desktop use, but also good for wrapping up in your bag and transporting it. To make it even easier to transport this new Drobo, we designed an optional carrying case for this product. So it allows you to put the Drobo Mini, the power supply, and a connectivity cable all in one carrying case. So it's like putting your laptop or your iPad in a protective sleeve, or like carrying around your full-size headphones. So that was the goal of that carrying case. So a little bit more about the design of Drobo Mini. So for those of you that have used a Drobo in the past, you know that drives kind of are inserted into the Drobo bare. So there's no carrier, there's no screws necessary, and you just press them in and a retaining clip holds the drives in. It's no different for Drobo Mini, except this uses 2.5-inch drives. So the 2.5-inch drive inserts right into the Drobo Mini. No screws, no carriers necessary, just inserts bare into the product, except the mechanism's a little bit different. With the Drobo Mini, the drive clicks in and out like a ballpoint pen. It really is a slick mechanism, slick design that makes it very easy to insert and eject these drives. So if you've ever inserted and ejected an SD card from a consumer camera, it's very similar. It just clicks in and out. And then once the drives are in there, you can leave them in. The case is a ruggedized design to make sure that it is good for portability. When you pick it up and you feel it, while it's a light product, it weighs, even with drives, it's less than 3 pounds. When you pick it up, it feels very firm, like a very solid product. And that's because we used a new cutting-edge material to design this product. It's a carbon fiber, but it's impregnated with metal, so it has a cool feel to it, and it's very stiff. And using carbon fiber allows us to mold the product like a plastic. So that's where you get all the really cool curves and designs of the product. It's a great looking product, and it has a soft touch rubberized finish on it. So it's a durable finish. It doesn't slip out of your hands, and it feels good, and it sits really nice on your desk. Also, when we designed this product, we wanted to make sure it was just like a Drobo. We want to make sure that all the Drobo-ness of the product remains. So where every other Drobo has lights to indicate drive status, it was hard to find a place to put lights in this product. So we worked with a LED vendor to create a new wraparound LED technology that allows us to wrap these LEDs right around the drive. So you can see in that image on this screen that the green LED just wraps around the bottom left drive, and it's a very elegant type of a design. Even the capacity indicator is a continuous seamless blue capacity indicator on the bottom, which takes place of the 10 LED lights you would have on a larger Drobo. So we've even designed the LED interface, which really is the primary user interface for a Drobo, is its lights. Lights tell you what to do. We've integrated them into this product in a very sleek way to keep the overall size to a minimal. Also, a Drobo wouldn't be a Drobo if it didn't have a magnetic front bezel. So even the little Drobo Mini front bezel latches on to the front of it with magnets, just like every other Drobo front bezel. And the primary user manual is right on the back of the bezel. So if a light changes color or if it's blinking, you could pull off the bezel, look on the back, and it tells you exactly what you need to do. Where the Drobo 5D can take advantage of a really large cooling fan, so we can spin it really slow. In portable devices, you don't have that luxury. You have to use small fans. So what we've done with Drobo Mini is we've put in 2 fans that are both very quiet fans that allows us to spin them at a rate that's not heavily noticeable by you. So instead of having 1 fan be a little bit annoying, we've put 2 fans in there. We can spin them at a certain speed, to make not only the cooling system efficient in Drobo Mini, but also run them slower to make it an overall quieter solution. This image shows you what Drobo Mini looks like in a workstation environment with your laptop. It shows a MacBook Pro with a monitor and a Drobo Mini. It gives you a relative size of the product, so it really fits on your desktop nice when you're using it. You can put it out of the way. You can put it wherever you want, and then when you need to go on the road, you just unplug it, throw it in your bag, and take it with you. So very portable, but also very slick looking on your desk. And with the Drobo 5D, this gives you an example of what it would look like daisy-chained to a desktop computer. In this case, it's an iMac. 1 cable coming from the computer into the first Drobo, and another Thunderbolt cable going into the second Drobo. So it allows you to have very high capacity storage. If you look at, 16 terabytes per Drobo. This is 32 terabytes just sitting right here on your desk. That's not taking up that much real estate. So with the size of drives increasing tremendously, along with the way that we're using SSD flash to accelerate that much storage, you get really high capacity, really fast storage that's very easy to use. The Drobo's always provided right there on your desktop. So pricing for Drobo Mini starts under $650. We haven't released pricing specifics yet. That would be coming in July. But what I wanted to also note to you guys is that these new Drobos include a Thunderbolt cable. So a lot of storage products, actually I think every Thunderbolt device today comes without a cable. It's an expensive part. It has a retail price of $50 today. The Apple 2-meter cable, that's what it costs. So including that cable is a high cost, but we feel it's the right thing to do. Gives you out-of-the-box connectivity for these new Drobos. So it's starting under $650 with a Thunderbolt cable. Also includes a USB 3 cable. So Drobo 5D starts just under $850, and it also includes a Thunderbolt and USB cable. The only difference is the Drobo Mini, we're going to ship it with a 1-meter Thunderbolt cable, and Drobo 5D we're going to ship with a 2-meter Thunderbolt cable. That's because with Drobo Mini, we're going to include a slightly shorter cable, just so it's easy to transport around. That cable, that small cable will wrap up nicely to fit in your bag or fit in your Drobo Mini carrying case. Or the Drobo 5D, you may want to have a little more flexibility with where you place it on your desk, so we're including a longer cable. Also, more cabling options from the industry. You'll start seeing rolling out, towards the end of this year. If you've been following some of Intel's announcements with Thunderbolt cables, especially using optical cables, we're going to be certifying those cables. So if you want to have really long cables, you'll be able to do that, with Thunderbolt soon. Before we open it up for Q&A, I wanted to talk a little bit about drive configurations, because this question is going to come up a lot, especially now that Drobos are supporting both hard disk drives and solid state drives. So first, let's look at the Drobo 5D. There's 3 primary configurations options that we're advocating initially for these products. One is you can do what you've done with a Drobo up to this point and put hard disk drives in the front of it. Anywhere from 2 to 5. 2 hard drives are required to protect your data. If only 1 hard drive's in there, it will be usable, but it will alert you that you need to add another drive to protect the data. Or you could say, I want to use all SSDs. I want this thing to be as fast as possible. Now with SSDs, while you'll have the highest performance, it will be the most expensive configuration and the overall lowest capacity, which is why we've designed the third option, which allows you to use large capacity hard disk drives in your primary drive bays, and then you can add the MSATA SSD in the bottom of the unit, and that allows you to have the best of both worlds. It's not quite as fast as using all SSDs, but we feel it will meet the performance requirements of most, because hard disk drives are very good for streaming. We use the SSDs for transactional I/O, and all that is fully automatic. So we use the Drobo data-aware tiering technology to make that fully automatic. So all you have to do is insert the SSD into the bottom of the unit, and everything else is taken care of by the Drobo from there. So 3 primary options, and when we look at the Drobo Mini, it's very similar, except 2.5-inch drives and one less drive bay. So you can do hard disk drives or SSDs. You can pick or choose whichever you'd like, or a combination of the two. So Gives you a lot of flexibility. I will note with SSDs, as we get closer to shipping the product, we're going to put out a compatibility list for SSDs. Unlike hard disk drives, SSDs are new and they're all a little bit different. And so we're at this point in time, we're heavily testing different SSD models, and we are going to put out a compatibility list or recommended list on which SSDs to use with your Drobo. So don't go run out and buy a bunch of SSDs yet. We will let you know which ones are best for each of these Drobo models closer to when we ship the product. So stay tuned for that.